everyone, this is Zach here. So today I want to walk through a new feature for Ansible Butler. So this is going to allow us to clone job templates with the CLI, which is something that I find useful sometimes, especially when I'm developing or trying to build out a new template. I just want to start from an existing one that I know is similar as opposed to starting from scratch. So the way it works is first you'll just go into an existing controller instance. This is my controller, and I'm going to pick one to clone. I'm going to pick this EDA no-op. And the only reason I clicked on this here was just to show, I'm going to grab this ID here. So the job template ID is 43. And if I go into the CLI, I'll just type out Ansible Butler to get my instructions. In the latest version, what you'll see, I actually haven't updated it in this version. So let me do a quick pip install -u Ansible Butler. Alright, so that's installed. As you can see, the latest version here, we've got our Ansible Butler 1.2.5. So now if I run the Ansible Butler command, I should see our new template clone action. So let me go ahead and clear this out here. And what I'll do is Ansible Butler template clone, and I'll say 43. If I want to give it a new name, I can. So I'll just say demo Ansible Butler clone. And what this is going to do is actually going to interact with the controller API. You can see it cloned the template with ID 43, gave me a link, it cloned its survey, and then it cloned its schedules as well. So that's the one thing about this action is it does follow some of the related items. The other item that this template didn't have would be labels as well. So let's go into the controller. If I click templates again, I'll search EDA. Actually, you know what? I need to search clone. Let's see. There we go. So this is the one we just created. And I find this feature nice, right? So if I'm trying to build off of one, I go ahead and I get everything I need, right? It's got the EE, it's got the same project, inventory, org, all those things. Even the extra vars are the same. If I go to schedules, you'll see I did have an Ansible Butler schedule that got cloned over here, as well as survey, right? So it had a survey. So the other use case for this may be, let's say you want to do this, but you're trying to copy it to a different instance. So that's not uncommon as well. So what you'll do is instead of doing a name right there, do --dry run. And what dry run does is it's actually going to print out the payloads that you would use to interact with the API for the instance. So right now it's not supporting actually doing the clone from one to another within the CLI, but it will give you the payload you need. So as an example, I'll go ahead and take this one, and you can see the default name here is actually just a pins clone. But I'm going to take this, and I'm going to copy it into Postman. So I've got this Postman set up here where I've got a request URL set up for AAP, and I'm actually pointing at a different instance here. Let me change my environment to Ansible. So this is my containerized Ansible version. You can see it's pointing at my containerized Ansible. And then I pop in this payload. One thing you'll have to do, and the reason why it's not currently supported as simple as it could be, is because the inventory project IDs and other things like that are not guaranteed to be consistent across your environments, right? So I can't necessarily just take an existing in one controller instance and copy it over to another. I need to make sure I have correct inventories and things along those lines. So additionally, right, I would need the project synced with this playbook. So if I tried to post this in the project of ID 20 didn't actually have this playbook, it would fail. So let's go into our containerized Ansible. Let's look at our projects. Let me go back here. Let's do demo job template. Got our hello world here. If I go to my projects, I actually do have a Windows management project, so I might be okay here. So let's see, the ID of this one is 10. So what I would do is if I was doing this myself, I'd go here, I'd change this project to 10. And then from an inventory perspective, I just need to create an existing inventory. This one actually runs against localhost, so it doesn't really matter. So let me just do inventory ID of 1, which is the demo inventory. And just check on any other things. Organization is going to be important too, and then execution environment. These are the other IDs I need to take into account. So let's go to orgs in my containerized Ansible. So we've got org is going to be 2, and then from an execution environment perspective, I'll just pick the default and let's do 2. So what I'll do is I'll change these IDs to 2 and 2. And then let's go ahead and send this and see what happens. Awesome. So I've got a 201 created. So you can see that payload works. So I did have to go in and modify the IDs themselves, but it did save me some time if I was going across clusters. So if I click on it now, you'll see my inventory is demo inventory, projects, Windows management. The playbook worked because that was actually the same project that I was linked to in my other instance. And then my default execution environment specified here. I could have also removed that, right? A template doesn't have to specify an execution environment. And you'll notice that I won't have my schedules yet or my survey. So what I can do is if I go back to the terminal, the output, it also contains some labels here. Actually, the reason why in the demo earlier, there's some switches that you can set in your Butler config. I just had it not copy labels. So that was just me showing an example of how you can skip labels, survey, or schedules. But by default, this one actually did. For the demo purpose, let me go ahead and post a survey just to show you guys what that looks like if you want to go ahead and copy the survey over as well. So you'll see I've got this URL here that I use in Postman. If I go to my survey spec, the main difference is going to be in this URL, it's actually a subset of the job template itself. So if I go to this job template, the one that got created, I'll want to copy this ID here, 13, and put it in here. Send that, 200 OK. So let's see, we should have a survey now. Awesome. You see, right? So I copied over the target host survey, and then I could do the same thing with schedules. So I hope that was helpful to you all. I think it's definitely a cool thing and really supposed to be a utility for developers. Thanks for watching, and leave me any notes in the comments if you have questions. Thanks.